Okay, dear all, warmly welcome to this hybrid event here at Ready and also online. So during this event, we reflect Roma minority situations as e-service users, as well as digitalisation and equality in general, in 4 European countries. This event is organised by DIRA project, which is short for Digital Inclusion for Roma Adults. And my name is Mariana Toiviainen, and I am working in the project within Digenes Foundation, so the Finnish partner. Background for this event is a lack of resources among Roma communities and minorities in Europe when it comes to e-services and digitalisation. We will focus on the pressing issue of digital inequality, and this event seeks to shed light on the challenges as well as opportunities faced by Roma minorities and to explore solutions for fostering digital inclusion. The main objective of the DIRA project is the improvement of the socio-economic state of Roma adults through IT education and development of digital skills. The project brings together Roma NGOs and organisations from North Macedonia, Serbia, Italy and Finland. And in Finland we have mainly focused on the situation of Roma adults with migrant background. The project is financed by Erasmus Plus program, and we want to warmly thank the Finnish National Agency for Education. Thank you for the cooperation. I will very shortly present the relevant activities of our project, so you know the background where all these thoughts and reflections rise from. So we have established a learning platform which has materials in 5 languages for using basic digital services. It also includes language training materials. We have trained trainers, both Roma and non-Roma. Some of them are here as well, who have been able to assist, support and build bridges to e-services. We have done a baseline study regarding Roma minority skills and inclusion in digital spaces, and to this study there were 200 Roma interviewed. And based on this, we have written policy recommendations to each country and a joint policy recommendation document for relevant stakeholders. All these mentioned documents and information can be found online on our website, diraproject.org. So today we get to hear about the findings and experiences of this project, Roma Adult and e-services. And first we go to Italy and Serbia. Saska Jovanovic is the president of Roma Adults, NGO working with and by Roma communities, especially Roma women. She's also serving as a coordinator for Dur Devdan, a Serbian NGO which supports the Roma population in education, health and social aspects of life. So please, Saska.
Okay, thank you. Did I need microphone or not? Yeah. Okay, thank you. Good morning, everybody. It's a very big pleasure to be in Finland, to visit this nice city, Helsinki, and also to close our 2-year project. DIRA project is born because we decide together, like partners, that now is very necessary that for the Roma community to have digital education, to be with time, to be more integrated in the world, in the country where they live. I will speak you about working, working with Roma women in Italy. The Onus Romnia PSE, I'm founder of this organization. This year, we will celebrate 15 years how we exist. It will be our birthday. And this organization is born because the Roma woman from the camps wants to say something to the institution and to have possibility to speak with the institution, with the mayor of the Roma city. It was only this, to construct, to make one organization. When we start, we was very little. We didn't have support of the state. We didn't have support from another organization. But little bit, after 6 years of our voluntary work, we start with the first project, and we start with, I think, with most difficult project that we can do, because it's about early marriage in Roma community, and we know that this is taboo tema in our community to speak about this. This was very successful project, and in European Commission they speak till now about this project and success. Then we we start to work very much in the field of the discrimination, and the big project with the Spain coordinator was Discri Camira, where we work important training, because all our training was accredited from the Ministry of Italy. We working training with the journalists, with the lawyers, and with Roma community. And also we have app which is called SOS Camera that everybody can take from Play Store. And if they see something that has happened, some case of discrimination, or like victim or like testimony, they can send information thanks to this app. Information comes to our email, and we can react it, and we have the list of free lawyers who wants to present them. The first big project with the institute here in Helsinki was Intersect Voices, because we think that one Roma woman is multiply discriminated. I say triple, because she's Roma, because she's discriminated in she's community, maybe because of the style of dressing, of the color of she's color, if she's dark, and also maybe if she's invalid or she's LGBT. Then we make a different Erasmus project. We are very proud that we start like first Roma organization to organize Erasmus project, where we have also youth exchange. Then we have training for the trainers, and now we're also doing K2 project. This is the small partnership, and one project which we will conclude now in September in Serbia. It will be very big events. It's Parliamo di noi Rom. We're speaking about us Roma people, translate in the English, and thanks to this Erasmus project is born World Roma Journalist Federation. It will be first journalist federation. Then we want to connect it Roma and not Roma who work in Roma aims. How I said before, the Roma woman, we know that they are victims of multiple discrimination, and we think that intersectionality is very important, and we hope that European Commission will financing this type of the project, and we will put the sure in our policy recommendation these things, that is not enough to work only with hate speech or discrimination, but we need to work about intersectionality. Why come discrimination? Discrimination can be, like we say, gender discrimination, because we know that Roma community and also Sinti community is patriarch society, and the woman she have the problem maybe with the male, from the husband, or from the father, or from the brother. Another is poverty and economical discrimination, and especially in Italy, we have so much cases where Roma from Romania, there was very big victim about this type of the discrimination, and they was registered and put in the state channel television every day, and this is a really big type of the discrimination. Economical violence, I think that what is for me the most important things for one person is to have personal document. In Italy we have this problem that people is apartheid. What does it mean? That they live all their life only with their birth certification. They don't have one document with photo. Can you think how you can live without one document? In Italy they live all their life. For me, this is the most important things, to have personal document, and other things is to have economic independence. Because if you have economic independence, then you can doing everything what you want. You can be integrated, you can combat discrimination, and gender discrimination and violence also, because you have your economic independence. Also, the very big problem is about lack of scholarship, because in Italy especially, the young people don't go to school. Maybe they arrive to high school. We are very happy if they finish elementary school. Somebody go to high school, but we don't have university students. I say now we're doing the project Academe, where we want to collegiate Roma students in Italia, to find them and to find their professor, and to see how we can give empowerment of this Roma student, to tell that they are Roma, and to work together with their professor. And we have big problem because we don't have Roma students. We can't find them. This is I think the bigger also problem when we speak about education. Stereotypes, we don't want to speak so much about this. What is the stereotypes? In Italy, we have Roma Romanian, Roma from Bulgaria, Roma from ex-Yugoslavia, Roma Italian, and Sinti. Who was the most discriminated is the Roma from Romania, because Roma women from Romania, they still have their type of dressing. They are visually attacked, because they are recognized visually, and they are attacked from this. Also, Roma from Bosnia, they are very attacked, and they are so much attacked that when we speak about institutional discrimination, we can say that now in Italy they changed the law about the woman who's still in the metro. And they changed the law, that now is not important if you are pregnant or if you have a child, little child. If they take you how you still in the metro, in the bus metro, you go to prison together, or with your child, or if you're pregnant. And this was very shocked, because they choose very fast this law. When we speak about hate speech, how to combat, we try to combat in different way, but we think that the most visual things is when we organize events and when we organize festival. The festival which we organize in Isernia, which is little city in Molise, comes 800 persons, and it's very important because in this way, with the festival, we are, and thanks to journalism, newspaper, we have visualization that we Roma, we are not that we only still, that exist Roma who work, who are integrated, who goes to school, who are also musicists. And in this festival, we're doing different things. We speak also about the project. We have fashion, something like fashion, sfilata we call fashion, with the our Concetta, she's a fashion stylist. She organized also with women this, if we can call Fashion Week, and they can see that we are different, that we are not everybody the same. We will work now. We decide to work more in these things, to organize festival, workshop, to have more visibility. It's not easy because I say in the Roma we can organize what we want, but journalists is not interesting about our work, positive. They're interesting only in bad things, to write bad things, to speak bad things about us. And I'm so sorry to tell, but it happens that in the morning, in the evening, every day, they're in transmission where they speak very bad things about us. And it's not happened in another country, but in Italy, yes. We have this problem. And we can resolve because we don't have this, we don't have this poverty, you know, that we can change the things. Because they're they're very, very big television, and we don't have this type of the lawyers. Anka asked me what is the secret how we organize Roma women in Italy now, how you start to work with Roma women in Italy. I tell you how I start. I start thanks to my fellowship 2014, when thanks to this fellowship, I have taught money for myself, but also money to pay the tickets and to give to Roma women some money, to pay the food and everything what we need when we organize our meetings. We start like 5 women in national level, and and we start in the February, and in March we organize first big conference organized from Roma women. It was very interesting for Italian because they never accept that Roma women can organize something like this. And then in November 2014 we organized international conference where we bring the Roma women from different countries. This year is 10 years, also celebrate 10 years like exists ROVNI, Roma Women Network Italy. Then when we work Mary when you're ready, we have money only for 4 mediators. But our mediators decide themselves to devise the payment with another Roma woman mediators. What does this mean? That our mediators, our Roma women, work for 1 month for 200 euro. Do you know what it means 200 euro to work all month? They work 2 years like this, because they want to help their community and they want to have their self-empowerment. The woman which we choose like mediator was women who live in these camps. We didn't bring the women from another part, no. We choose the woman who live in this territory, in this camp. Maybe she's cousins, maybe she's mother of these girls, but we wanted that she be there. Why? Because we know that European project finished after 2 years, and we say, what we're doing after? In this way, she was point center for all community, and after when the project is finished, this is the point, this is the secret, that you give them empowerment, they feel good, and after when the project is finished, they are point center for many things. And today, this woman is very successful woman. They find their job. They don't live more in the camps. Now they live in the social house, and we are very happy. And they are activists. This is everything what I want to tell, and I'm very good with the time because I need. Thank you for your attention, like Italian organization. Now I want to go to present because the Serbia was also a partner in this project. It was Đurđevdan was a partner. The Đurđevdan, Udruženje građana Đurđevdana is a very good organization who exists 25 years. And Ivica Durmišević, who is president, he can't come today because he have health problem. And I will present the project, what he did, and I was also project manager in the Serbia, because our action was the same in 3 countries, in Finland, Italy, and Serbia, and Macedonia, 4 countries, sorry. We're doing the same things. And everybody of us, they use their method to work and with their results. The Serbia is a very little country, but they have very big percent of Roma community. The Ministry of Human and Minority Rights, they say that officially is only 130,000 Roma people. But we have National Roma Council, in Serbia exists, Roma National Council, and also some another organization who tell that we are minimum 500,000 of the person who live in the Serbia. And I'm sure that is like this. Like in Italy. In Italy, officially is some, I don't know how they make it. They make it in Italy statistic only with the Roma who live in the camps. But what is happened with the people who don't live in the camps, nobody don't speak about these things. That we are also only 130,000, like in Serbia. But in Italy, 70 million people. And that we are only 130,000. But we think that we are a very, very big number more. But the problem is that in Italy, we are not nothing. We are not nationally minority. We don't exist. And this means that we don't have possibility to make some extra statistic. In Serbia is different. They're national minority. They have their statistic. And the problem is that many Roma, they're afraid to tell they're Roma. And I think that is in every country is like this. And because of this, the number is more little, but we know effectively that is minimum triple or 3 or 4 times more number of the Roma. This organization have seats in very little city. It's called Bela Palanka. Is one of the more poorest city in the Serbia. But what is interesting, yes, that is little city, but they have very big number of Roma people. And this is Roma people, is Roma traditional people. And the census say that is 1,100, but association tell that is 103,000. Every time the number is bigger. I want to speak about a little bit what is the most what is the big city where Roma people lives? Maybe you don't know. It's Belgrade. It's normally its capital. Novi Sad is capital of Vojvodina, of region Vojvodina. Then we have Niš. Niš is very near to Bela Palanka. We have Pirot and Kragujevac. The Roma people live. Normally, they are very integrated. They live in the house, social house, day house. But they also live in Mahala. Mahala, this is something like little quart, you know, the traditional, with many, many Roma house. And they live like this, little bit like we can call ghetto. But they want to live like this. Many don't want to change the things. Like, for example, Sinti in Italia, they want to live in their private, we call terreni, you know, private. They don't want to live in the house. They refused to live in the house or in some building. They like to live family in little, their private territory. I think that we feel more free. But I say, till somebody of us don't try to live like this, they don't understand. Myself, I live all my life in the house, in the apartment, etc., etc. But one period, only 3 years, I live in the Roma camp, in the Roma, and I start to understand why people like to live in the camp. Because before you can live, you can't judge. The Roma who live in countryside, they have like a basic service like water, supply, national power, a sewage system. When we speak about education, It's the big difference from Roma and not Roma people, because only 1% get a degree. But when we see how is the situation in Italy, where is 70 million person, and maybe we have 5% Roma who have degree, then we can say that Serbia is okay, that they have 1% who have degree, different from Italy. The good things that in Serbia, the children go to finish the elementary school, and most of them, they go to high school. This is very good results. We can say thanks maybe the last 20 years, I think, thanks to many different foundations who give support to Roma children to have some money to pay maybe the bus ticket or maybe to eat something, you know, when they go to school. But how we say, no, it's not only poverty the problem, also early marriage is the problem. And I think the biggest things also is discrimination, because it really exists discrimination in the school from the children and also from the teachers. But in Serbia, I repeat, they are national minority. They have different organizations and legal aid who help them to make the news. And also they have Roma National Point Center that they can also counsel, Roma National Council, that they can doing something for them. Migration, why we speak about the migration? The last 30 years and more, from 91, from the war in the Bosnia till today, the 99 was the last war in the Kosovo, but then we have economic migration. All these 35 years of migration is the problem for the children, because they lose, many of them lose the school age. You know, they pass from one country to another, and they lose also the school. When we speak about healthcare, it depends on the city. You can see Belgrade, which is the biggest city in Serbia. They have more possibility. They have big confidence from OMS, from South Serbia, where it's more down. It's normally because in the South, when I speak, I need to tell you something with my colleague from Pirot city. Pirot is big city. And we speak about where she will bring his daughter to born the child. She tells, we don't have the doctor, gynecolog. I say, it's not possible that you don't have doctor in this big city. She tells, no, we don't have gynecolog, we don't have doctors. And I understand how is this, it's very difficult situation, that they must go 1 hour in another very big city to that some women go to gynecolog. But it's not only for Roma, it's also for non-Roma people, that they don't have the doctors. It's very, they have only in the mornings, few hours, but if you want to born or something else, you don't have more doctor. I was so much delusioned about this. And then I understand that this is another problem. When we speak about average life, we know that Roma people, Roma community died very early. And I also lose my parents very young. My parents with, if I can say, good life standard, they live 62 years, and mother 64. And what we can say from another Roma who didn't have these good standard lives, the statistics say that if Serbian woman lives approximately 76, Roma woman approximately 48. This means more or less 30 years less not Serbian woman. It's the dates very important. Also that 1 of 100 Roma Serbian, they reach 60 years. What is the problem? The problem is, like I tell you, that in the Serbia is so much also refugee from Kosovo and from another ex-Yugoslavian republic. They don't have identity card, they don't have document, the living condition, also discrimination, etc. Of course, that Roma who lives in the city, they are more integrated from them who live in countryside. Also, when we speak about the job, it's very more easy to find a job in big city like Belgrade, not in Bela Palanka, where it's impossible to find the job. Also, when we speak a level of education, is the same things, because if you live in little city, you need very big money to pay only travel costs to arrive if you want to study in big city. What is the good, like I tell in the Serbia, and I conclude, that they signed the documents to help the integration of Roma, and they have so much document for inclusion and integration. This is very good, very important, different from Italy, which we have a strategy for Roma inclusion, who didn't doing nothing for 2010-2020. Now we start 2020-2030, but we are still in the level 0. We didn't doing change nothing. This is the big problem. Thank you for your attention. Thank you.
Thank you, Saska, for these visions and situation, describing situation in Serbia and Italy. Next we go to the Republic of North Macedonia. We have Victoria Mihailovska, who is working as a coordinator for the Association for Roma Community Development, Sumnal. And she will be speaking especially from the perspective of trainings, which we have had throughout the project. Welcome.
Thank you, Mariana. Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed colleagues and participants joining us both here and online, I am honored to speak at this roundtable on a topic of a profound significance: the digital inclusion for Roma minorities, particularly within the framework of our project, the digital inclusion for Roma adults gaining knowledge and skills, or eServices. This project, supported by the Erasmus Plus program, unites organizations from North Macedonia, Serbia, Italy, and Finland in a shared mission to ensure that Roma adults are not left behind in the digital age, but are equipped with the tools and skills necessary to thrive. Digitalization is transforming every aspect of our lives: how we work, learn, communicate, and access essential services. Yet, as we celebrate the strides being made in technology, we must also recognize a sobering reality. Many Roma communities, especially adults, are excluded from these advancements. The digital divide, which separates those who can access and use digital technologies from those who cannot, is not merely a technological gap. It is a social and economic chasm that perpetuates inequality and marginalization. In North Macedonia, as in many other European countries, the Roma community has historically faced significant challenges, including poverty, discrimination, and limited access to education. These issues are exacerbated by the lack of digital literacy and access to e-services, further marginalizing Roma adults and limiting their opportunities for economic and social advancement. The digital world is one of opportunity, but for those without the means to navigate it, it can become yet another barrier. In North Macedonia, the challenges are multifaceted. Many Roma communities reside in areas with limited internet connectivity, and even where access is available, the cost of devices and data can be prohibitive. Moreover, digital literacy rates among Roma adults are low, with many lacking basic skills needed to use the e-services effectively. This has profound implications for their ability to access healthcare, education, employment, and even social services, all of which are increasingly moving online. Furthermore, the COVID-19 pandemic has accelerated the digitalization of services, making digital inclusion more urgent than ever. During the pandemic, many Roma families were unable to access online education, healthcare, and social support due to their lack of digital tools and skills. This experience highlighted the critical need for targeted interventions to bridge the digital divide for Roma communities. This is where our project DIRA steps in. Our project is more than just an initiative. It is a commitment to creating an inclusive society where Roma adults have equal access to the opportunities that the digitalization offers. Through this project, we aim to improve the socio-economic state of Roma adults by providing IT education and developing digital skills that are essential for modern life. The project brings together a diverse group of Roma NGOs and organizations from North Macedonia, Serbia, Italy, and Finland. Each country has its unique challenges and strengths, and by working together, we are able to share the best practices, learn from each other's experiences, and develop tailored solutions that meet the specific needs of the Roma communities in each context. Now it is my great pleasure to introduce to you the DIRA Learning Platform, a significant achievement within the project DIRA that we worked on. This platform was specifically designed to empower the Roma adults and other socially excluded individuals by equipping them with the necessary skills to navigate and utilize the vast array of e-services available in our partner countries. So this is how the platform looks like when you access, and that is the link where you can access and use it. The DIRA Learning Platform offers a comprehensive curriculum of 6 meticulously developed courses. Course number 1, for personal computer and operation and components, introduces basics of personal computers, operation, and key components. Course number 2, divided in 3 parts, for working with Microsoft Word, Excel, and PowerPoint, teaches how to create documents, manage data, and deliver presentations. Course number 3, for working with the Internet and electronic communication, explores Internet use and electronic communication for safe online communication. Course number 4, for working with social media, empowers participants to navigate social media platforms for enhanced social, cultural, and economic interactions. Course number 5 is for online learning and meeting platforms, which helps master online learning environments and virtual meeting tools. And the last and the most important course, number 6, for working with eServices platforms, equips our participants with skills to access and utilize various eServices in all our countries. The DIRA project aims to empower Roma adults and other marginalized groups to participate actively in the digital society. By learning to use electronic devices, these individuals gain access to digital communication and information, which can lead to education, employment, and other opportunities. The project's impact extends beyond individual participants, fostering digital literacy and inclusiveness, aiming to create a more diverse and equitable society. Every person, regardless of their ethnic or socio-economic background, deserves the right to education and the chance to realize their full potential. The DIRA Learning Platform serves as a bridge to a more inclusive future, ensuring no one is left behind in the digital age. From the 31st of August till the 2nd of September last year, we in Sumnal, together with the Faculty of Information and Communication Technologies in Bitola, hosted the training of trainers as part of the project, which was attended by our partners from Finland, Serbia, and Italy. During the training, the participants were presented with the learning platform developed by the faculty, along with the instructions on how to use it. Then the learning material was presented by the Sumnal team, which followed instructions on how to use the platform together with the material during the implementation of the training with the target group of Roma in all our partner countries. The methodology, approach, length, and evaluation methods differ from country to country because of the different situation and educational level of the Roma in each partner country. Finally, every partner country would apply different methods and ways that suit the best to their participants from the Roma community. The training of Roma were implemented from October 2023 till April 2024. The project conducted targeted training sessions for 160 Roma adults, 40 in each partner country, focusing on enhancing their knowledge and skills in utilizing e-services and digital tools. These trainings were designed to empower Roma individuals by equipping them with practical digital skills needed to navigate and benefit from the digital landscape effectively. By engaging directly with the Roma communities, the project fostered confidence and empowerment among participants, thereby contributing to their overall well-being and inclusion. In North Macedonia, we implemented a hands-on methodology that combined group work with individualized support in the city of Bitola. The topics that sparked the most interest among our participants included creating and managing email accounts, understanding online safety, mastering the Microsoft Office package, and perhaps most importantly, discovering and utilizing the national e-services platform. For many, this was their first opportunity to sit in front of the laptop and directly interact with the digital tools that are shaping our modern society. The excitement and curiosity were palpable as they explored how to pay bills online, a service that most had not previously known as available or did not know how to use. In Finland, the Diakones Foundation took a unique approach by integrating group training sessions with language courses in Helsinki and the surrounding areas. This combination ensured that the participants not only learned how to use the digital tools, but also improved their language skills, making it easier for them to access and utilize e-services. This holistic approach significantly enhanced their ability to engage with digital platforms and services in a meaningful way. Moving to Italy, their efforts were focused in the regions of Molise and Lazio. The training sessions led by Romni were highly successful. Participants became proficient in using the DIRA platform, which has now become a key resource for them in accessing information about IT and other essential e-services. The most popular lesson, the 6.41, highlighted the importance of the SPID, Italy's public digital identity system, which many participants were previously unaware of. This newfound knowledge has empowered them to make appointments, the essential services, such as obtaining an ID card, which now they can do independently. In Serbia, the efforts were concentrated in the rural areas surrounding Bela Palanka, including the villages of Crvena Reka, Mokra, Klisura, Moklište, Tamjanica, and Brandol. The training sessions conducted by Citizens Association Đurđevdan were particularly impactful in these remote areas where digital literacy is often limited. The most popular lessons were 5.2 and 6.4, which focused on navigating the national services platform. Like in other countries, the trainers closely monitored progress, allowing the adults to try using the platform independently after receiving guidance. In conclusion, the success of the DIRA project is a testament to the power of education and inclusion. By providing Roma adults with the tools and knowledge they need to navigate the digital world, we are not only enhancing their individual lives, but also contributing to the broader goal of digital inclusion for all. The results so far have been promising. We have seen Roma adults gain confidence in using digital tools, access services they previously could not, and even secure employment through online platforms. However, there is still much work to be done. Digital inclusion is not a one-time effort, but an ongoing process that requires sustained commitment and resources. As we move forward, we must continue to advocate for policies that promote digital inclusion, not just for Roma communities, but for all marginalized groups. We must work to ensure that digital literacy is recognized as a fundamental right and that all citizens have the opportunity to participate fully in the digital society. In closing, I would like to reiterate that digital inclusion is not just about technology. It is about equality, justice, and human dignity. It is about ensuring that all people, regardless of their background or circumstances, have the opportunity to participate in and benefit from the digital world. The work we are doing through this project is a step forward that goal, but it is a step that we must take together with determination and shared vision of a more inclusive and equitable society. I would like to thank you all for your attention. If you have any further interest in our work and our project, you can reach us through our email, sumnalb@yahoo.com. Now, I would like to leave you with the video that the Sumnal Association created regarding the DIRA project, where you will see some inserts from our national roundtable together with some statements that our participants made about their experience in the project. Од септември 2022 година, Сдруженијето за развој на ромската заедница Сумнал започна со имплементација на проектот DIRA, односно Дигитална инклузија на возрастни роми, стекнување на знаење и вештини за користење на услуги. Координатор на проектот е финската фондација Diakones, во соработка со Сумнал, Факултетот за информатички и комуникацијски технологии од Битола и партнери од Италија и Србија. Проектот е финансиран од Европската комисија преку Erasmus Plus програмата во областа на партнерство за соработка во образованието на возрастни. Главната цел на проектот е подобрување на соcio-економската состојба на возрастните роми преку образование од областа на IT технологијата и развивање на дигитални вештини и компетенции за да се оспособи возрастната популација и социјално исклучените луѓе да користат достапни електронски услуги во нивните околини и да бидат подобро вклучени во нивните заедници и општества. Проектот DIRA нуди платформа за учење и тренинг на возрастни за користење на услуги и електронски уреди кои го поддржуваат образованието на возрастни. Самиот проект има влијание врз образованието на возрастни на локално, регионално, национално и меѓународно ниво.
Во текот на месец јуни во 2024 година во организација на Сдруженијето за развој на ромската заедница Сумнал и Факултетот за информатички и комуникацијски технологии Битола се одржа завршен настан во рамките на проектот Дигитална инклузија на возрастни роми, стекнување знаење и вештини за електронски услуги. Настанот имаше за цел да ги промовира препораките како и сите реализирани активности во рамки на проектот. На завршниот настан присутните имаа можност да ги слушнат искуствата на учесниците во проектот, како и да се запознат со успешните приказни за трансформација и подобрување на животот преку дигиталните алатки. Особен акцент беше ставен на важноста на континуирана едукација и поддршка од дигитална инклузија со цел овозможување на повисок степен на социјална и економска интеграција на ромската заедница. Вредноста на проектот е во тоа што може да биде корисен не само за ромите, туку и за сите останати заинтересирани страни кои сакаат да ги унапредат своите дигитални вештини и способноста за користење на електронските услуги. Настанот заврши со дискусии и размена идеи за идни проекти и иницијативи кои ќе продолжат да ја унапредуваат оваа важна кауза. Проектот DIRA имплементираше активности кои ги зајакнуваат дигиталните вештини за возрастните роми и користењето на електронските услуги.
проект ми овозможи да научам нови работи, како што е PowerPoint, Word, Excel, кои што ќе ми помогнат многу во мојата работа во градинка. Исто така, ова платформа ми помогне многу и со работата со моите деца, за изработка на презентации и други работи.
В рамките на овој проект научив многу знања, пример запишување на CV, запишување на имейл, преварување на Google и многу други познанства, што истекнав во рамките на овој проект. Исто така се стекнав со многу други мои пријатели и се разменавме мислења и знања кои што пример не ги знаевме.
Значи во овој проект научив да си отворам сама мејл, многу беше забавно и со тоа ќе ми возможи понатаму да речем и за децата, за во училиште и за многу други работи. Тоа беше забавно, интересно, се дружевме, научивме и се надевам дека и понатаму ќе има вакви дружби и проекти. Полесно е, оти многу беше, да речем, и ни објаснаја и ни кажаја, се беше многу убаво.
Јас научив да ги плаќам сметките струја, вода, катастар, преку интернет. Можам да пребарувам на Google, да отворам нови страници за работа.
Many eye-opening findings in that. Next we will travel to Finland, so not that far, but we will go to Pietarsaari, Western Finland, where there is a significant minority of Romanian and Bulgarian Roma living and working there. Project manager Karolin Alvik-Harju and employment instructor Svetoslava Nikolava share their thoughts based on the training experiences.
Hello everyone and welcome to our little news moment here from Pietarsaari. My name is Karolin Alvik-Harju and I work at the Deaconess Foundation as a project manager with migrant Roma in the small town of Pietarsaari in Western Finland. With me I have my dear colleague Svetoslava Nikolava, who previously has worked as an expert by experience, but who is now an employment instructor for migrant Roma in Pietarsaari. Last year we worked part-time in the data project, and with this short video we want to send you greetings and share with you some of our experiences from doing trainings in digital skills with migrant Roma in Pietarsaari and Helsinki. To start with, I'd like to mention a few things about our target group. In Pietarsaari there is approximately 200 Bulgarian and Romanian Roma. The town as such has about 20,000 inhabitants. And like Svetoslava, some of them have lived here for over 15 years, while others have moved here more recently. Most of them have municipal status and are therefore fully included in our social security system. Pietarsaari is a completely bilingual city, which means that migrants choose one integration language, but should learn both Finnish and Swedish in order to manage well in the labour market. In many families, they have solved this issue by putting their children in Finnish-speaking schools while parents integrate in Swedish. The Roma community does not openly take pride in their Roma identity, but they are a very beautiful and tight community.
Hello everyone. Like myself, most of the Bulgarians in Pietarsaari come from Vidin, which is a city in northwestern Bulgaria near the Dunaj river. Many Roma live the so-called Mahala in the district of Novpod, which is a very now Roma area in Vidin. Especially all older clients have lived a very difficult life in the Bulgaria because of the widespread poverty. Most people have not been able to go to school. Instead, they started to work at a very young age. This means that they have never really had opportunity to learn digital skills or even how to read and write. The younger generation has had more opportunity than their parents, but many of them have had to take care their siblings and help at home rather than go to school. Whether young or old, many of their clients have experienced discrimination on many levels, which naturally affect their living condition, integration and inclusion.
In September last year, the two of us participated in the training of trainers organized by the DELA team in North Macedonia. Already there, it became quite clear to us that however wonderful and accessible the platform and the content was, we would have to adapt our trainings to our specific target group. Because how are you to navigate a digital platform on a computer if you have never really used a computer? How are you to understand any of the content if your language skills are too poor to understand the words you are reading, if you can read at all? So I translated some of the content and created Swedish and Finnish versions of the platform, but through some piloting efforts we realized that our clients would not be able to increase their digital skills simply by using the platform, even with our guidance. So therefore we created our own training inspired by the original content.
All in all, we had around 40 participants in all trainings. About half them come to group sessions, while the other half participated in one-to-one sessions or small group sessions. The material developed by us to focus on familiarizing themselves with how to type on computer, safety on the internet, choosing proper password, and going through all the most important e-service used in Finland. Since social media and the mind is communicating for a lot of our clients, we also spend quite some time discussing how to act and what to share in these platforms, as well how to change these settings. As bank fraud and having someone hack into their bank account has happened to money. We also spent quite some time in discussing the use of personal bank codes and information. The trainings were primarily conducted in the Swedish with translation in Bulgarian. Into addition, we also went through key language, the e-service.
And a few words about the challenges of our trainings. Poor language skills and illiteracy. The migrant Roma in our community face many challenges related to poor digital skills, But the fact that their local language skills are also poor, that creates barriers that are hard to overcome. Technical skills. The second challenge, which was perhaps a bit surprising to me, was how unfamiliar they were with basic usage of a computer. For people who have grown up with various devices, it is difficult to understand the fear of keyboards and what might happen when you press the button on mouse. Add that to not understanding what it says on the screen or the oftentimes difficult web pages to navigate, even for someone who knows what to look for.
Safety. The third big challenge was the discussion and safety on the internet. Many migrant Roma are used befriending whatever sent a friend request and social media sent in families. They oftentimes yell at the other out with things that demand bank codes. Quite freely they send images of their personal information and bank codes to each other, and despite this having led to some bad consequences, they continue with this practice when they don't know how to deal with their bills of their application themselves.
Lastly, we have a few tips for the future. First one, language support. Migrant Roma needs to be supported in their everyday life in Finland, for instance with improving digital skills. But in every case, these efforts need to be supported with language support.
Time. Efforts to support migrant Roma with digital skills need to be continuous and long-term effort, and not merely project-based. A change in mindsets and improvement of skills take time.
Trust. It takes a lot of courage to admit that you don't know how to read or write, or to admit that you don't understand what is expected of you, or that you have never used a keyboard. It is therefore important that training in digital skills or language skills happen in a trusting environment with trusting relationships.
Cooperation. We as project workers can come some way with supporting our clients in the matter of improving digital skills, but as e-service become more and more important in the daily life of people. The support should also happen together with other instances such as the bank, the employment office, the social security officials.
So, thank you so much for your time. We're hoping that you are having a interesting and wonderful roundtable discussion. We hope that this video has given you some insight into our experiences of training migrant Roma here in Pietarsaari. And we do hope that the DERA concept will be developed and continued further. Thank you. Bye-bye.
So those were greetings from Pietarsaari. Now we will continue with the Finnish speaker. So we have Anka Enake, who is the Senior Human Rights Advisor of Digitalisation Foundation. And Digitalisation Foundation is a Finnish non-profit foundation working with the most vulnerable people, including Roma migrants in Finland. Anka will share about the digital skills study of the project.
So I would also like, on behalf of our organization, to thank everyone we came across during the project, because we know that it takes many persons, many humans, and many efforts to do anything. And of course, we would like to thank our partners. Like listening the presentations today, it's kind of reinforced how important it is to work transnationally and how good and sustainable results we can have when we work across borders and we combine different expertise. This project has been special also because we involve NGOs and then we involve the Faculty of Technology in Bitola. So we combine our different skills, and definitely this is very much needed in the area of digitalization and vulnerable communities. Then of course we would like to thank also in Finland the Finnish Roma Association. So in Finland we implemented the project in Helsinki and in Pietarsaari. And in Helsinki, the Finnish Roma participation also provided individual support to migrant Roma. As Svetoslava and Caroline introduced, lots of time and individual support is needed. But now we will go back. Actually, I have to go back to the beginning of the project, though we already heard some of the activities and some of the findings. So we started our project by doing a small study. The idea was, and here you can see the study, which can be reached online on the DIRA website. And here are also the persons who contributed to the study. The objective of the study was to have more knowledge about the digital services used by communities, about their needs, and in relation to that also to tailor our intervention and project. So we found that is very useful. You know, of course, when you write a project application, you have some ideas and some evidence and baseline study for the project, but things are also changing. So we wanted to integrate in the project design this study at the very beginning and to tailor further and plan our activities in line with the results. So to say, to have an evidence-based intervention and project. I think one important thing is also that we integrated some questions related to hate speech, online hate speech, and other forms of violences, misinformation, and then issues related to gender equality. Methodologically, I would say that the study was also very novel and important as the whole project itself. So as you see, we are here Roma and non-Roma NGOs, the Faculty of Technology. We are persons who work as professionals with NGOs, activists, Roma and non-Roma. And I think this really made special the methodological design. Also, it was a collective process. So we started by drafting the questions like that we would use in the survey. I will elaborate also more on the survey issue because it's not like an actual survey. But yeah, we drafted some questions and then together we developed them further. And it has been very useful to have different experiences and knowledge that we all have by working with Roma communities in our specific contexts. So we had these 25 questions as a base for our discussions. But I think, like in all countries, we talk also about personal encounters, field work, and discussions. So this was not like sending the questions and asking the participants to answer them without maybe understanding what we refer to. You will see here basically that I think in Italy the partners very well put it, that they included elements like explaining the questions, guiding, elaborating, providing support, and then also like when inserting the answers, like thinking, is this really what the person wants to say, and considering that the answers are accurate and in line with ethical and dignified aspects in relation to the participants. The persons who conducted the survey have different language skills, Romani languages, different dialects than Serbian, Romanian, Bulgarian, Albanian, and Macedonia. And this was also extremely important. Yeah, the data collection was conducted in October and November 2022. But we want very much to stress that definitely when doing a study on digital skills, it's very important not to use the jargon that actually is not something that the participants are familiar with. So in fact, all interviews should be more of a kind of discussion, though the support questions are very important. But also maybe in the future, even more we learned would be important to give space to what comes from the persons who are talking about the issues that we approach. So generating new knowledge, not just going with the things that we already assume about digitalization, of course. And in total, we had 201 participants, 91 men and 110 women. And we also organized in Helsinki one discussion with professionals who work with Roma migrants. So we kind of ask about their experiences in regards to the needs and the challenges and opportunities. Here you can see like in which cities the participants live and countries. Sometimes the information, for example, you can see that we have Romania, Bucharest, because some of the persons prefer to insert the place of residence, for example, in the home countries and home communities in Romania. Like we also asked some questions about the situations, social economic circumstances of the persons we interviewed. And as you can see, sorry that here it's not visible, but with blue are the persons who are employed and 71% were unemployed, not in formal labor market. Of course, they generated income and did informal works to survive, but not in formal employment. Also, in regards to the education, like with blue, you can see I have no education, with red, primary education, yellow, secondary education, and green, high level of education. So a very small percent with high level of education. We also had a question about the devices that the participants used, and a clear result in all countries, because now the data that is presented is from all countries, and if you have questions we can be more specific with each of the countries. But the smartphone was something that it was very widely used. And then, on the other hand, like desktop computer or laptop was not much in use. But the smartphone was used in a creative way and for many, many purposes. And also here you can see how the participants themselves considered that their knowledge and capacity of using these different devices is. And for blue, it's I have no knowledge. For red, it's poor knowledge. Green,
limited knowledge, and purple, excellent.
So again, the mobile phone was excellent, and then desktop computer and laptop, not good knowledge. Here we have a question about how often the devices are used, and with blue is never, so computer was not used much. Then we have almost never, laptop, mobile phone very often, and then also very often mobile phone and tablet, not much. Also for what the devices, especially smartphone, is used for communication, we notice that this is an important source of well-being, keeping in touch across borders, across localities, from rural to urban areas and so on. So keeping in touch with family members, trying to access different services through own networks, and here especially the messenger was used, and Facebook. And of course, like following different contents and different news from home countries or in general from the own country. But very little for job search. And here you can see what I already mentioned. The messenger is very much in use, while the email, it's very little in use. So types of communication that require writing long texts or texts. Also, we had a question about searching the internet, and many participants felt that they know how to look for information online on the internet, and also that they know how to distinguish what is reliable information and what is not. I mean, here again, like if we think about the programs which are usually required in formal employment and labor market, like using Word, using Excel, and such things, the level of capacity participants felt that it's low, that they don't have skills with such actions. Also here we have actually the answers about hate speech that I mentioned. So many participants said that they have knowledge on recognizing hate speech, which was a bit surprising, but very good, obviously. We had a discussion, at least in Helsinki, and kind of explain what we mean through hate speech and what are different forms of hate speech. And in that way, we can say also that when we did the study, we also had engagement, and we also contributed to the knowledge in specific area. For example, this was the case with hate speech. Yes. Then I think like one of the participants from Bulgaria mentioned that he learned about from North Macedonia, actually learned to pay invoices and to take care of some issues. Here you can see some more specific data in regards to specific services. But paying online bills and using the bank account was a difficult issue. And of course, many people do not have access to a digital identity and therefore do not have access, for example, to online bank services, which is an issue that Saska mentioned, for example, and it's also very common in Finland. Some final reflections. So, I mean, as I said, we started with a baseline study, and of course our knowledge and experience developed continuously. And for example, the policy recommendation which will be presented next incorporates both the study and what we learn during this process, which I think is very important. I think what it became obvious also during the discussions today, and also what we learned through the study, is that definitely technologies and digitalization, it's really important in relation to inequality and human rights, and there are plenty of intersections. Of course, it really influences how you can access your human rights, how your human rights can actually happen in relation to digitalization and technologies. Like social protection issues are a clear example, like most of the social protection support and services are happening online. But this is only one example. What I mentioned already, the digital identity issue, basically you cannot go to any platform without the digital identity access, which means in practice that it takes more time to do things, you cannot do things, you are dependent on others, you feel that you are not understood, you feel that you always have to go through someone, which of course it hinders and creates barriers to the person. Then I just want to raise like few issues that, of course, we also know that in social protection there is the tendency of automatization of decisions, which will, and less like face-to-face or like professional contact, which will definitely also have influence. Then, of course, like the digital what is called the digital welfare ecosystem. So the issue that, you know, there are many actors around these different platforms, and somehow all need to have knowledge about minority issues and vulnerable communities and access to digital issues. And then there is also the issue of big data in social protection, meaning that all data is more like managed and connected together, and maybe sometimes the conclusions made based on that are not like what the minorities need or what is in the interest of minorities, but making wide decisions on based on this big data. Then, of course, like in regards to state-citizens relations, like access to democracy, and also, on the other hand, also what we will recommend, how important it is that the language of the institutions reflect the languages of the citizen. And here, of course, the risk that there is so much focus on written text and on communicating in written and in kind of particular forms of text. And if we think about Roma communities and the importance of the spoken language and the heritage and the beauty which comes with such issues, this is an important issue. But also then, I mean, we were also like thinking a little bit about the agency and possibilities. So definitely the use of digital skills also provides some opportunities which were not there before. So, for example, of connecting with Roma communities or activists which work somewhere else, and also connecting with family members and so on, which is a source of well-being and health. And then also the issue of remote translations, which is kind of enabler, but also creating difficulties in general, the need of using translation and the lack, or betterly said. I think I only want to make one point, and that's that I think it's very important also to understand that digital technologies are developed in a context which also reflects racial, social, gendered inequalities with a long history, and linguistic inequalities. And this is one very important aspect, and that's why different communities should be involved and work together with companies and institutions which plan different digital tools. So, thank you.
Thank you so much, Anka. So now we have heard reflections regarding the trainings, training the trainers, the results of the study, And what comes next? What do we want to say? Well, they are policy recommendations that we have formulated within the project. And our next speaker is Adriana Poczewska, who is professor at the Faculty of Information and Communication Technologies in Bitola. And she will reflect a bit on the policy recommendations that we have formulated. Thank you. Welcome. This is yours, right? Mm-hmm.
Good afternoon to everyone present here, offsite and also online. First of all, I would like to express my gratitude to the Diakonis Foundation for the organization of this event, especially to Saia and to Anka. Also, I would like to express my gratitude that I'm here today in Helsinki with other partners of the project. And I am happy that I will present today a policy recommendation, as Anka said, what we learned from the project. As we know, the project DIRA Inclusion for Roma Adults, Gaining Knowledge and Skills in eServices, aims to contribute to building inclusive society in which Roma adults enjoy equal rights and access to services and information. The partners said that the project consists of baseline survey, then developing the DIRA learning platform and training materials. Below is a link of the e-learning platform, and the training of trainers and training the Roma, and networking, information dissemination, and policy recommendation. I will present today a policy recommendation from this project. First, we learned from the project that increased efforts are crucial to achieve Roma inclusion, and the base study conducted in the project partners countries by the consortium show that the Roma adults hardly use the available IT tools for e-services provided by public and private institutions. Also, a large part of the adult population and socially excluded are not familiar with new technologies that are currently used for service provisions and civic and political participation. Therefore, the DIRA project policy recommendation emphasizes the importance of user research, usability testing, and gathering feedback from target users to understand their needs, challenges, and preferences through survey, interviews, and etc. Next, increasing access to free courses for internet and data security and digital devices. Many Roma are still unable to use internet in ways that allow them to participate fully in the economic, social, and political life of modern society. The fact that the access to digital opportunities is limited to the use of smartphone constitutes a major obstacle to the use of digital services. Online security is also a big issue, given that half of the Roma have difficulty assessing whether the information is reliable or not. The DIRA project policy recommendation advise decision makers to provide free courses on basic internet usage, email, and online security. Moreover, part of the funding could be invested in devices, especially computers for Roma adults who cannot afford them. Next, bringing e-services closer to the Roma adults and other vulnerable groups. Generally, we can conclude that the majority of the Roma community lacks proper digital knowledge and skills that will enable them to use e-services. This includes checking medical appointment, filling online forms, using electronic banking system, performing online payments, and etc. Taking into account experience from the conducted trainings, the DIRA project policy recommendations suggested developing free training programs related to e-services usage that address the specific needs and interests of Roma adults. During the training, information should be presented in a step-by-step manner, and in addition to the text-based instructions, audio instructions or video tutorials should be provided also to assist users with limited literacy skills. The training should be divided into levels and planned training into account that the fact most of the participants work, so the training should be organized at a time that fits the participants' work schedule. Moreover, personal assistance options such as chat supports, helplines, or in-person assistance centers also for the users require additional help, which will be of particular importance. Next, provide Roma adults with access to quality education and good practices for acquiring modern skills, digital skills, and competencies. Educational integration is the main means of achieving equal opportunities for education and the position of Roma children in society. Their inability to perform basic online tasks and access services, which could be observed during the training of the participants, is due to their low level of education or lack thereof, including poor foreign language skills. Based on the aforementioned, the DIRA project policy recommendation proposed the implementation of digital literacy programs in education to provide individuals with necessary skills that prepare them for active participation in digital society. Additionally, support for multiple languages must be provided, and the content must be culturally sensitive and inclusive. The content should be accessible to the users from diverse linguistic and cultural backgrounds. This could involve offering translation of key content into multiple languages and incorporating culturally relevant imagery and examples. Next, incorporating user feedback for continuous improvement. Continuous monitoring of user feedback is particularly important in order to identify areas for improvement and to develop the digital services accordingly. For these reasons, the DIRA project policy recommendation suggests regularly updating the proposed programs. It has educational resources, tutorial and interactive guides based on the user's needs, user input, and technological advancements. The methods could be involved conducting usability tests with representative users, analyzing user behavior data, and implementing changes to address identifying issues and pain points. Also, we have some policy recommendations on local level, national level, and international level. We will start with the implementing digital inclusion initiatives, community outreach programs, and accessible public services on local level. The local governing body can collaborate with internet service providers. Moreover, assistance helping participants navigate these services, such as applying the government benefit or accessing healthcare resources online. The City Council mandates that all new digital platforms and services developed by the municipality department must comply with the accessibility standards. The DIRA project policy recommendation strongly encourage partnership between the local governing body and internet service providers to offer internet plans for low-income households. Establishing partnership with local organizations and businesses to offer digital literacy training and support services will have a positive impact on vulnerable population. Websites and online platforms should comply also with accessibility standards. On the regional level, regional government agencies can establish a task force on digital inclusion comprising representatives from various departments such as education, social services, and technology. The digital government can allocate a portion of its budget to support digital inclusion projects, such as providing grants to local non-profit organizations that offers free computer classes. This funding will help to expand access to e-services and will narrow the digital divide within Roma communities. Thus, the DIRA project policy recommendation encourage collaboration among digital regional agencies to streamline access to e-services and share the best practices for digital inclusion. This can be supplemented by allocating regional fundings to digital inclusion programs and initiatives, prioritizing areas with higher level of socio-economic disadvantage. Regional standards and guidelines for the design and implementation of e-services should be developed in order to ensure accessibility and inclusivity for all. We have also some suggestions on national level. Schools should pay attention to Roma migrants communities' children while integrating digital literacy education into the national curriculum, starting from the primary school. Resources and expertise from multiple sectors should be leveraged to address infrastructure gaps and promote digital inclusion nationwide. The DIRA project policy recommendation proposed the enactment of legislation requiring government websites and digital services to comply with accessibility standards in countries where such legislation has not yet been adopted. Digital literacy education should be integrated into migrants program to provide individuals with the necessary skills to access and use e-services effectively. Fostering partnership between government, industry, and civil society organizations can help to expand Roma communities' access to affordable internet connectivity and devices. And last suggestions is according on the international level, and technology transfer and capacity building can contribute to narrowing the digital divide on a global scale and promoting sustainable development. Moreover, cross-border data accessibility can enable migrant Roma individuals to access these services seamlessly across different countries. That's why the DIRA project policy recommendation advocate for a global framework on digital inclusion that emphasizes equitable access to services for all population regardless of the geographical location or socio-economic status. Technological transfer and capacity building initiatives should be facilitated to empower vulnerable Roma communities to develop and implement inclusive e-society, but that society must be tailored to their specific context and needs. Establishing mechanism for cross-border data accessibility and interoperability is vital for facilitate seamlessly access to e-services across jurisdiction. That was the all policy recommendation from all the partners in the framework of this project. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you for the policy recommendations. So this has been what we as a project have wanted to share with you. Our findings, our questions, policy recommendations, experiences from trainings and so on. And of course we want to hear from you what you have heard, what do you take with you, what kind of questions arise. And we will start off with Pia Niilola. We will hear kind of a commentary presentation in a way, something like that. She's an expert in functional digital everyday life and advanced level occupational therapist. And we invited you to pay attention to what you've heard and maybe find some new ideas based on that or some questions.
High hopes.
High hopes.
So, do I find my presentation from here somewhere? Oops, sorry. Yes. So I have about 20 minutes of time. I love to speak, so please do say stop if it goes over the time. I'm here with them, yes. I can say that I'm not seeing those. So, I'm here to talk about the digital services that we encounter in our everyday life and kind of challenging you to take a new perspective about the suitability for different people. My background comes from NGOs. I've worked in the Finnish digital agency, and now I'm somewhat working for me. Studied a lot about digital, about technologies, IT, and so forth on. Let's start with the positive input. Joy of being online. This is the main reason we are using the devices. And the actual fact is that very few of us is totally excluded from the digital community. We might not have the devices, we might not have the access to the online, but we have the knowledge that there's a digital world somewhere, and when we go, for example, to meet some official, we know that the official uses a computer. So we have a state of mind and understanding of the basic idea that the world runs around internet. Question for you who are here. Lift your hand up if you ever needed help with IT or technologies. If you needed help, please do lift your hand up. You two have never ever needed help with any kind of technology. I know, yeah? You have never ever asked something. Your printer might not ever crashed or something. You never asked any help in IT. Yes, you have asked, because yes, I'm a total geek. I've studied also coding and so forth on, and I normally resolve my issues myself. But I use Google. I ask for my workmates. I might scream besides the printer in the office. This doesn't work. What do I do? And I kick it. And then my workmate comes and says, take it easy. Here's a cup of coffee. Let's solve it. So, my point of view is that any one of us is lack of knowledge, and it's normal. It's absolutely normal, and it's okay. The actual need for technology comes from motivation. I've worked with people who are living rough, homeless people, And I started these meetings by inviting them to me and fill out applications. I was very happy. Please come here, let's fill out some applications. You will get your services and your monies. Guess how many people came? No one. No one came. Yes. Then I had some sandwiches, I had coffee, I had tablet computers, and I have this game called Angry Birds. Do you know the game? You shoot small birds across the screen to hit little pigs. It's a very easy user interface game, where the most important skill you have to have is your first finger. And if you can do this, you can play Angry Birds. So these people came to me and started to get excited about the possibilities of technology, because the enjoyment and motivation of filling applications wasn't enough. So when you have positive experiences, when you have the help you need, you can proceed in your needs. It was so wonderful, and at the same time it was awful to hear you all to talk about these same issues that we've known that exist for years and years. All of you honourable speakers told us about these things. One main issue is that we have this huge problem with identification. There's been in Finland this legislative project to have a Finnish digital ID. I was in that project too. But unfortunately, the law didn't pass in the last government's season. So we are somewhat in the starting point again. There is a European digital ID wallet project going on, where the idea is that if you are an occupant or living in the European Union, you will get an identification for the digital services. But it's still going on. It hasn't had any. It has had results, but not. We haven't had a real strong identification. So the same issues that you all were speaking about are known issues, but still there is no resolve for this. Same thing is with the connections and the devices, and also the safe spaces where to use those. Mostly in Helsinki, we normally talk about libraries. They have a lot of computers, they have tutors to help you to work with your computer. But if you don't have the strong ID, you can't use those computers mostly for your personal agenda. Sometimes those computers are in the middle of the space. You have no privacy. So if you need help, if you need someone to translate you the texts in your screen, there's a lot of people around. So the space isn't safe for this function. And of course, you talked about the skills. We know a lot about digital skills, and we know a lot about those main skills we need. But those skills normally, if we look at digital skills with whose we are surviving in the digital community, we tend to forget that there's a lot of basic skills included. For as such, the reading, skill to read, the skill to understand the context of the information. Because every society is a different place. Every society, the systems work different. If you do something in Finland, it doesn't work the same way in Italy, not at all. So the same skills and same orientation of the society, it differs when you move from a country to another. And this is once again a thing that we know. And one of my pet peeve is that the designing of these services is mostly done by the able people for the very able people. Normally, when you ask about skills in digital life or using devices, going around, you get an answer. You can get support. Just contact. There was this one library that had this standing out the library, and it said, this is loosely translated, "Welcome to the IT course. Do you have problems using your computer? Don't you know how to use the internet?" And I was like, yay, this is fun. Do you know what the last phrase was? Check it online. So, we easily forget that the information that's available for most of us isn't available for all of us. And it's also about those search questions. We need to know what we are searching, which words we are using when we are searching for information. I was doing this project when I was working in the Finnish digital agency with Kela, the Finnish Social Security Office. Yeah. And we did these training searches. And I asked for the groups to take a screen capture every time they found something that was wrong. And it was surprisingly, the result was that surprisingly to most results were the wrong ones. Because people used those phrases and those words that they are used to use, not those that the system needs you to use. With the support and help, we have also this, I don't want to say it's a problem, but it's something that we need to understand. Who gives the information? Is it peer support? Does it come from the NGOs? Is it the officials? Every one of these three speak a different language. When I give you peer support, I help you, I speak very differently compared to the situation when I was working in an NGO and I was helping a lot of people in the day centers, or when I was an official. It was a whole different language. So the support and the help is there. It exists, but there's a lot of work to do to find it in a form that that the information is usable for you in that situation. And I might be wrong, but this is my favorite accusation. I think that we build services thinking that the one size fits most. Have you ever bought a T-shirt that says fits all? Yeah, I've bought those. It doesn't fit me, not at all. Someone is smaller, someone is bigger. Someone has broader shoulders, someone is really narrow, and the T-shirt looks ugly in everyone's body. This is a fun fact that we need to understand when we look at the eServices and the governance. There are a lot of people that can use the services, but there are a whole lot of people that are dropped out. And the services are built by the able people for the able people, and it's like that mostly, and sorry, always. Because the idea of being able to do something is always different for every one of us. Because it's okay to need help, it's okay to ask for help, and it's okay to get help. If we produce easy, it's easy for everyone. We use plain language, we use simple icons, we tell where you can find and get help. It's easy for everybody. If you are a master of IT and a wizard of coding, it might be boring for you because you can do so much more, but you get the job done. The forms, the services, as I said in the first slide, they are not there for fun. They are there for a reason. And for that reason, we need to have clear, easy information on the sites and on the internet. And I think that every design we do, we should have included a lot of different people with a lot of different abilities. We can use service design, we can use the NGOs, we can use professionals who has the experience. But still, I feel like that the most of the 10 minutes, most of the services are built with the middle person in mind. Because the disabling factors we have in our life, and this goes to Robert Salven, he's a very, very honorable specialist from University of Aalto. We face disabling factors in our everyday life. My favorite example is about videos that have subtitles, texts in them. If you don't hear, you've been born without hearing, you need those. You mostly can't understand. It's a nice video, nice photos, yay, I don't know what it says. You might have an ear infection. It's a temporary situation. It's disabling you temporarily. So you need the subtitles. Or, my favorite, you sit in the subway and you want to watch the video. I'm the kind of person that hates when people have their loud phones screaming around me. So I normally use social media and those videos in public transportation with the subtitles. It's connected to the situation where I am. And the same goes on with every kind of situations where you feel you are not able. And the one in the bottom, the cognitive disabling features, is a very interesting thing. When you think about people who are living in a very stressful situation, there is something with your money, there is something with your immigration status, there is something with your health. And then you are obliged to use governmental services, which are written in quite different, hard language. It's no surprise that you feel that you can't use those. And every one of us who live in this world, we meet situations where our mind is boggled with stress, and it's normal. So, easy services are easy for everyone. And I loved the part about your study where you talked about the devices. The mobile is the most used and loved item with this contextual group. The mobile phone is wonderful. It's grab to go. You can watch movies. You can enjoy pictures of your grandchildren. You can, well, do whatever you want with it. But it's actually quite lousy when you need to fill out forms, when you need to go and do official business. It is prone to lose. It's prone to break. And everyone who's changed a phone knows the feeling that it's a nightmare when you need to move the data and your passwords and everything from one phone to another one. And this is one of my former clients says. He was living rough, and he was very capable and able to use a computer. But when your life is in a backpack and you move around a lot, you don't have a permanent address, you don't have maybe not a permanent Wi-Fi access, you don't have the spaces, you don't have the, what are those called in English? When you plug them. No. Where you plug electricity boxes. Yes. Yeah. You don't have Yeah, you don't have the power for your computer. Yes. So when you move around a lot, the laptop isn't the one to carry around. You need to carry the mobile phone. But still our technologies and our services are mostly built for a computer, not for a mobile phone. What to do? You have the excellent policies that you told about. And without seeing those, I was thinking the same things, absolutely. These are quite universal. We need the connections, we need devices, we need people to help, and we need safe spaces where they use those devices and do your stuff. And in Finland we have this digital first project going on now. And the idea is that in the first case, every official government information will be going via email or suomi.fi services. But it never ever should mean that everything should be digital, not digital only. And it's not either or. We need to come in between. We need to give the help and the advice that people actually need to get the job done. Not in a way that you leave some people out. You can go to the officials yourself by walking and using pen and paper. And you people, you can go and use your IT devices. This is also a point with the disabled people in Finland, because you get only a certain amount of taxi services in a month. If your taxi trips go in those situations where you need to work with the officials, you need to go to, where would you go? In Kela, social services. You use your trips, you have 8 trips in a month. You use it to go to Kela because you don't get any digital support in your home. How will you go to the shop next week? Or you have a theater, you want to go and look a movie, but you can't go because you used your rights already to go and get your official stuff done. So we need to understand that the digital support isn't something that is only for, how would I say, everybody needs the digital support. There are not only the people who are left outside, and there are not only the people who are welcome to the digital society. And the part that we can do as persons, as people, as NGOs, as wherever we work, is that we need to participate to the governmental discussion. We can write to the legislatures when they put their laws and say that please look at this. I've succeeded in those. Yes, yeah, it's possible. It's hard work, and as NGOs, you know it's hard work. You can participate in the development of these services. At least in Finland, they do ask about feedback, and they do invite people also to join in the development. And we need you to stand up for your needs and make a sound. Use the social media platform, use every platform you have to tell about this problem. Once again, it's hard work. I worked with homeless people and digital inclusion for a few years, and it was, how should I say it, constant shouting about the problems to get somebody understand that we need help and these people need to be recognized as the digital society participants. So, did I have 1 minute left? Yes. My name is Pia Niilala. I'm an occupational therapist. I've specialized in service and business management. I'm an occupational therapist, which means that I'm interested in how a person works in the environment where they live. And how can we change the occupation and the environment that it services to people themselves. I've studied a lot of different things and blah, blah, blah. I love this theme because I feel like the digital services, they are not going anywhere. there's always going to be more and more. But if we leave people outside, we have a huge problem in the future about people getting what they deserve and what they are. Okay, I lost my words. It's a Friday. Thank you so much. Please do connect with me in social media and so forth. And have a nice day. Thank you for all.
Kiitos.
Kiitos.
Thank you, Pia.
Sorry, but you didn't say exactly what you think about our digital platform and about our work. Sorry, you speak about everything, but you didn't comment our work.
I've seen the studies.
I read this from you.
Yeah.
Say what you think about our work and about working with the Roma community with this platform.
I haven't seen the platform. That's my problem. I'm new in this genre, not in the. If we look at the persons who are somewhat marginalized in the society, that's a work that I've been done. But this platform, I haven't seen it before because I was invited here to speak, and I read about the study and I heard your voices.
Yeah, the study you were reading about.
Yes.
And how did that resonate?
It was absolutely the same.
Yeah. About policy recommendation.
Yes.
Now, for me, it's very also important because we are maybe only based for something more important. Because I tell to my colleague that policy recommendation is very important.
Yes.
Because in the base of these things, maybe European Commission will
Yes.
provide for another different financing support, not only for us, 3-4 countries, maybe for 20-40 countries who is inside of this European system. But you say very nice one things that when they provide some recommendation about how to use enter left, enter right, they use one language, but they don't think about maybe to use base language.
Yes.
Which we understand. I'm an electrotechnic engineer, but I never understand when I buy something to read, how to use. I never understand, and I never use these things. I do it myself because for me it's so much difficult. And I think also that with Roma community, it's also difficult to understand, this technological language,
Yes.
high-level. Language is not important to us. It's English or Serbian or Macedonia.
Absolutely.
But it's high-level language. And that is very important maybe tomorrow for you or for another who thinks about this, how you say that you have possibility, I don't know, to make contact to Finland government, I don't know, you tell before, to comment, to give your feedback, to say that they need to use maybe more simple language.
Yes.
When they write something, because in every country we have so much immigrants and maybe disadvantaged people, so much educated people.
And in Finland we have this situation where we have laws. There are laws that advise the government officials to use understandable language. But the concept of understandable language is highly dependent on the part who are writing it, because understandable language isn't the same for us all. And if you think about anyone who is somewhat marginalized in the society, the language is really hard. There should be an option to use, for example, for these services as plain language. So there are laws, but in the law they don't have mentioned any cognitive understandability.
We have a problem.
we have a problem, yes.
Sure,
yes.
that's the big problem
yes.
in the future.
But you asked about how would I comment, is that these are problems that are somewhat known. These are problems that we are circling around year after year. And for the future, we need to grab a hold in the European Union. It's not enough that we do something small here in Finland, yay, we got this one, and the next one goes like, no, it doesn't go like that. We need to form big networks, and we need to impact in the European Union policies. And this is the important work that you are doing with the policies and delivering them forward there.
Well, they will listen. And I also think that customer service, I think that in every country we have customer service in that something that is also very important to maybe to work with them just to change something.
Yeah. And also we have a law in Finland for that. We have to give services. We have to give advice for the digital services and for the analogic services where you work in. We have the law, but it's only in Finland. And that varies. Yeah. Sorry, I grabbed your time. I'm so sorry.
No, well, this discussion can go on for a while, really. If someone has some kind of question or comment or something to bring out, there is a tiny bit of time for that. If anyone has any comment or... Sanna.
It's like a continuation. Hello, I'm Sanna Valtonen. I come from the University of Tampere and I study similar kind of issues, but not among the Roma minority, but among the undocumented minorities. The sort of the vulnerabilities, datafication and digitalisation cause, produce and solve within those minorities. I'm thinking about data. It was mentioned big data, and I think Pia had a very nice point, and you had a good question on that. I'm thinking about how the marginalization kind of continues if we focus on the skills of the minorities. I think it's like a patch. It's not a solution. The solution is that, well, I don't have the solution, but I think it could be found from the sort of data. And the truth is that right now the minorities that are not using digital services, they do not leave digital marks on their lives, on their experiences, on their life to the services, to the platforms. So the platforms, they keep developing. We pour millions on developing the platforms, but the experience of the minorities will never be there if we don't help it there. So we should also, with the political recommendations, I feel that we should also kind of help their experiences and transform it. Finland has this law to give the services, but when somebody uses only analogical services, there should be an authority who produces data out of that experience and sort of sinks it in the same pool with the data collected from me and my experience because I use the digital services. And then the persons and the authorities who develop services would also see the minority experience. This is kind of I think we should also focus on the data collected on people and not only their skills. Thank you.
Thank you, Sanna.
An immediate reaction. I think it is a very important point, but then also, on the other hand, of course, there are many ethical and moral concerns. Is it good to have your marks? And what is the consequences related to that? And of course, for us, this is a huge responsibility and a huge issue that,
And it should be formed in a safe way. Also, the undocumented people who are really hiding and they are really avoiding all the services that like localize themselves. They cannot really use them because they can be followed by the foreign police and by the European authorities. Of course, the moving people are afraid of the data. But we were also talking about people from Pietarsaari area who have the municipality, and I think their experience should be there when Finland is developing services. And you were mentioning the Molise?
Yes.
The little city, and I was thinking that, well, that would be the place where the data could be collected and the services could be developed.
That's true, yeah.
Thank you for your comments. And I see like that's the basic problem, that these people with different needs, different abilities, they don't they don't exist in the system, because the system and the data is collected only from the capable ones. And in Finland we had this national artificial intelligence program, Aurora AI, and I was in the ethical board of Aurora AI, and the one question that we had in there was always how the system sees those peoples who are outside and whose data we do not have. So, once again, there's always the danger if we leave people outside and their experiences outside, we do the one-size-fits-all answer, and it doesn't fit anyone. Mostly anyone. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for these points, everyone. And it has been really wonderful to see you all. Many of you have been on the path of the project, meeting here and there, and some of you here for the first time hearing about it. So it's wonderful that you came here today, and wishing you all the best. And we still have some minutes time to mingle and see acquaintances and come and say hi to our guests and so on. So thank you, everyone. And big applause for the speakers and everyone who came.